Flashing lights in the dark, baritone hum. Engines scream till the wild hearts succumb. Virtual roads where the asphalt sweat fire, chasing glory through the chaos of desire. Your TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. Nerd TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels bursting like flames. The digital warriors, no face, just names. Science going for the sweet finish line. Sweat soaked battles outside space and time. Nerd TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. Nerd TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels bursting like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Tires calling for the sweet finish line. Sweat soaked battles outside space and time. Nerd TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. Nerd TV, we're living the dream. Strap me in, fuel me with untamed speed. Data in the storm, all the rush I need. Glitches on the edge, chaos in the stream. Sim racing paradise, unraveling the sea. Nerd TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. Nerd TV, we're living the dream. Flashing lights in the dark, baritone hum. Engines scream till the wild hearts succumb. Virtual roads where the asphalt sweat fire, chasing glory through the chaos of desire. Your TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. Nerd TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels bursting like flames. The digital warriors, no face, just names. Science going for the sweet finish line. Sweat soaked battles outside space and time. Nerd TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. Nerd TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels bursting like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just of the endless night. Fight to fight, we live for speed. Nothing defeats our endless need. Heartbeats pound and engines cry. Best broadcast under the virtual sky. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul.
And welcome to Nerd TV for another Smoky Mountain Sim Racing Truck Series race live from the bumpy, old-fashioned, some would say the best version of Atlanta Motor Speedway ever. And here is your Icon Apparel Company Countdown to Green. That's sponsored with iconapparelcompany.com to get all your best esports teams hooked up with shirts, hoodies, hats, sim racing, gloves. Fully deck them out in your design, not somebody else's. So here's the race stats here for this evening. Got a nice 10-mile-an-hour wind with a very nice 69 degrees air temp, 82 degrees on the track. 5 additional sets of tires. You're going to need every single one of them here for bumpy Atlanta with your green-white checkered tips. No fast repair. That's probably going to be key right there. Don't wreck your stuff. Bumpy Atlanta, it's not the easiest track to drive. Don't want to nose the thing into the wall because aerodynamics are going to be key here for these trucks. This evening, my name is Jeremy Stanley, and then to my right-hand side is Jason Rockefeller and Dustin Loxton, not on camera but pressing all the buttons like usual. Jason, it is Bumpy Atlanta.
Yeah, it's Bumpy Atlanta. I'm ready to see this, man. This is a driver's track. Maybe not so much a fan's track late in the going before it got reconfigured for the 2022 NASCAR season. But this is a track that is near and dear to a lot of people's hearts. We've had great finishes. We've had great racing. So many moments throughout the years from when they started this configuration back in 1997 all the way to the end of 2021, where Kurt Busch ultimately won the last race ever on this quad oval configuration. Jeremy, it's bumpy, it's fast, it's hot. They call it Hot Atlanta for a reason, and I'm ready to see these truckers get ready to tackle this track here tonight.
Yeah, 100% there. We got a little bit, I think a little bit more numbers than what we did last time when we were live with them, but nonetheless, it's going to be a fun one. Things are going to get really spaced out, so we're going to be looking into strategy. We're going to be looking into quite a few factors here. It's the first time I think I've seen the updated trucks over the past 6 months or so on the old surface, and actually, first old surface race of the year for myself, so I'm going to be learning a lot here watching these trucks do it.
Yeah, it should be fun. I'm ready to see how they do. I mean, you think about this track, Jeremy, anytime you ever came to Old Atlanta, in fact, this was like the very first week ever on my iRacing career back in 2021. This is such a fun racetrack to drive. I think I got a couple wins here in my C-Fix career, but man, you talk about restarts are so chaotic because you try to take the biggest advantage that you can on those newer tires. Those older tires, they wear out. If you restart on older tires, you can spin them, slip them, spin out very easily down the front straightaway. Restarts are going to be very interesting tonight. I'm very interested to see if we get a late race caution, how those yellows are going to play out. But tire degradation, all that stuff is going to be a big talking point tonight. This was one of those racetracks before they reconfigured it, Jeremy, where this was probably the biggest cheese grater to any Goodyear Eagle tire that would ever come to this racetrack. This track is known for having one of, if not the most abrasive surface in NASCAR. You would see drivers fall off 4 to 6 seconds a lap time within the span of 15 to 20 laps. I expect us to see a ton of fall off here tonight, especially with the newer tire model and these newer truck bodies and chassis. It should be a fun one.
1000% here. We're watching a lot of solo times go around here in this practice session here. You're gonna need that practice, right? The start of the race is gonna be crazy, of course, with traffic, but 15, 20 laps in, you're gonna see a lot of this right here, just a lot of single file, maybe a couple breakaway trucks that stay within somewhat of a draft. I'm trying to go over some points and whatnot too, but Sim Racer Hub kind of flubbing on me a little bit here. I got the Daytona stats in front of me, so I'll try to get that pulled up at least on mine. Unless Dustin has all the fancy graphics. I don't know if he does or not these days. He always surprises me, but he said hold. So we're going to hold on the point situation there. Okay, you saw that truck right there in our pit road, Jason. That's going to be key too, man. Slick surface trying to get down, and that pit entrance comes in a hurry. It's not stretched down the pit road. It's just right there at the moment you turn down.
Yeah, you think about the reconfiguration after 2021, that pit entry line is all the way on the back straightaway after that first year, because that first year we never saw any green flag pit stops. And then after 2022, I believe it was either the second race in 2022 or maybe the beginning of 2023, they moved that line all the way from where it was in the traditional line on the exit of 4 all the way to the entry of 3 down the apron. Now it's all the way back to where it used to be, because we're running Legacy Atlanta all the way at the bottom of that racetrack. If we see green flag pit stops tonight, which we more than likely 97% wise sure should see them, it's really tough to get down there. You mentioned it, Jeremy. Slick surface, especially these worn Goodyear Eagles, they do not like it. So it's going to make for some interesting moments for pit road. So if you want to be fast, you're going to have to commit, and you're going to have a good entry and a good exit here on pit road.
Just like that, it is qualifying, so we're going to get our cameras off your screens and go watch these guys drive 2 laps in this qualifying session. For now, going to be 4.5 minutes left in this session as we're going to ride on board the number 69 Wheeler Paints there, Mr. Christopher Cash, to open up his first lap.
Yeah, he's going to run the top side here on the exit at 3 and 4. It's where you want to go. Then all the way to the wall, then diving it down into the corner here. Doesn't really get to the bottom like he probably wanted to. Takes a little bit wider of an arc. Kind of comes out right to the wall. About normal traditional style line. Down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Same as 1 and 2. But you're kind of having a tighter entry point, because remember, that's a quad oval. You're not going to have to turn as much into the corner going into 1 as you would into 3. So that's going to be a big troublesome spot for a lot of guys on those older tires as we progress throughout the race here tonight. And Chris is on his second lap again. Kind of gets down to the bottom a little bit better than he did in 1 and 2. I want to say this second lap is probably going to be better, but it's been so long since I ran a lap here at Old Atlanta. I don't know if the first lap's usually faster than the second, but usually, typically, in the past, it would be. Right now, Joey LeMay has the top spot in that number 5 truck. Across the line for Chris Cash all the way to the bottom. He is going to currently be in 3rd, so it looks like that second lap was just a little under a 10th slower than what his first lap was. And now we are out on board Mr. Eddie Baker in the number 84. Jeremy, heartbreaker for him 1 week ago. Kind of made a hole that wasn't there on the last lap out of turn 4 at Daytona, and ultimately gave that first race of the season win to Mr. Brock Whitehead. But we'll see what Eddie Baker can do here in qualifying in the turns 1 and 2.
100% here. Very smooth corner exit there for the 84. Right up against the wall there to enter turn 3. Then it is completely driver's choice if you go top or bottom to complete your lap. He's going to choose the bottom, drifted up nice and smoothly. Very consistent line there from Eddie. That's what you're going to need for your Goodyears to survive here. And just like that, the smoothness is key. The 84, not only is he smooth, he's fast. 30.386. The only driver in the 0.3 second bracket takes the top spot here in this qualifying session, as we have just 2 minutes left here. Now here's the number 8, Braxton DeWeese. Let's see what time you can post here.
Braxton DeWeese, even though we're only 1 race into this chase format for the new Truck Series season here for 2026, Braxton DeWeese comes in tonight minus 12 points back from last week's winner, Brock Whitehead, which we will give you the points here in just a second. And there they are. You see, after 1 race, Brock Whitehead leads the points over Braxton DeWeese and Brandon Cooper by 12 and 22 points. 3 Bs up at the top of the scoring pile. And then there's Mr. Eddie Baker, currently top of the board in qualifying. Probably could have gotten a lot better finish had he not tried to make that hole for himself on that last lap out of turn 4. Just kind of came right up off the bottom and put it in somewhere where he shouldn't have. and ended up in the wall in the race. But currently, Braxton Deweese second on the board. And whoa, look at this top of the charts. Tyler Merritt in his first start of the season with just 1 minute to go in qualifying. Jeremy, new name for me, at least on my end, but Tyler Merritt, top of the board with a 30.373, just almost about an entire hundredth better than Eddie Baker in that 84.
Yeah, pretty close times up there for the first couple of drivers. And yeah, new name to the series, new name to the season. So Tyler, welcome to the Smoky Mountain Sim Racing Truck Series with your first presumed pole here, as they have 30 seconds left in this qualifying session. Nobody on track, so there it is. I think this is going to lock Tyler Merritt in to take the pole for race number 2.
Yeah, and I expect Tyler to do really good right now. Looking at the I rating for some of the drivers here, he's got a 5,200 compared to a lot of the guys that are around the 200 or the 2000s and stuff like that. So Tyler, no surprise, at least on our end here, looking on the I rating side of things, to be top of the board. He's got that experience, has racked up some I rating for sure. But Eddie Baker and Braxton Deweese are obviously no slouches. We've seen them now over the past year and see what they could do in this series. And now with the trucks, they've been top of the class here within the last race. Even though it was Daytona, we're coming to a track that's really going to matter. It's going to set aside your players from your kind of guys that are going to run in the back. So here we go, getting ready to start it up here tonight. Cars are getting ready to grid. Jeremy, this should be a fun one. I'm looking forward to Old Atlanta.
Yeah, same here, man. Same here. This is going to get... I don't know what it's going to be. It could be a couple things. It could be a really loose truck fest. It could be grouped up somehow. We got some new names in here. It's a new season. We're still getting adapted to the trucks for Smoky Mountain in general. So we'll see what these drivers bring to the table for 100 plus 1 laps here for the BK Designs 101 starting lineup for tonight's race, presented by Brez Coffee Company. And here we go. Tyler Merritt in the 38 P1 here this evening. Eddie Baker alongside him in second. Row 2, you're going to find Braxton Deweese. And in fourth place to his outside, Joey LeMay. Row 3, Austin Wheeler starts in P5. Brandon Cooper does start in 6th place. 7th, you'll find the number 1, Dana Ryan. And then to his outside, Stephen Harden in position number 8. And to complete the top 10, Christopher Cash there in the 69, followed up with Bryson Colwell there in 10th. And the second to final row, Bill Hagan in 11th, Charles Whitehead in 12th, and Mitch Diamond completes the 13 truck lineup for race number 2 for the Smoky Mountain Sim Racing Truck Series. 1 pace lap, green flag, and we're going to see what these guys brought for the BK Designs 101.
And this first initial start, Jeremy, should be very interesting because remember, we talk about this old abrasive surface, cold tires, and even on worn tires, but cold tires in particular, where the outside lane, I don't remember if it's the outside or the inside, but I believe it's the outside lane, usually gets a much better start/restart than those bottom lane drivers. So this could create a stack up here on the initial start of the race. Granted, this is a newer tire model than what most of these guys used to run if they were running on the service a handful of years ago before they made the official races at the New Atlanta after 2022. So with a newer tire model, the newer truck chassis and bodies, this should make for a very interesting race. Will you be able to search different lanes all over the racetrack? You know, this racetrack used to be a track where you could race bottom, top, middle. But with this newer tire model, it might be all about tire conservation. You might have to run that bottom, and as the race progresses, maybe start to move up to the top. But if I had to pick a driver here coming in tonight, I'm going to go with Braxton Deweese. He's been really strong, had a shot to win Daytona just 1 week ago, and now he's second in the points, minus 12 to Brock Whitehead, who is not here tonight. So Braxton Deweese with a good finish should take over the points lead. I'm going with the number 8 truck of Mr. Deweese to take home the win here tonight at Atlanta.
Yeah, solid pick there. Very versatile driver. He knows where to get it done on the short tracks, intermediates, big boy tracks, and even on the tracks that turn right and left. All right, here, pace vehicle is down, throttles at the ready, and green flag for race number 2 officially underway here. I see a clean start for the most part. Maybe some tire spin there in the upper lane there from the 27 of Harden as he drive into turn number 1 here. The leaders still stay side by side until the 38 of Merritt does clear finally with a little bit of wiggle in that cold tire. And here comes your pick, Braxton DeWeese on the inside.
Yeah, and DeWeese is going to get a little bit of help from Austin Wheeler in that 48, making his debut in the Truck Series tonight. But off turn number 4 for the first initial lap, Tyler Merritt is going. Oh, we got one truck sideways through the grass, able to save it. Will he? No, he will not. Oh, it's going to be a big impact, maybe to the inside wall, and no, keeps it off. What a job by Bill Hagan coming off turn number 4. That truck should have zigged and zagged, probably right into the wall. And as Cletus McFarland would say, I probably should have zagged when I zigged, or whatever the hell he says. But great save by Bill Hagan there off turn number 4. Everybody looks to get through unscathed, no damage, but you see a couple of guys in the back kind of straggling behind the race leaders. But after lap number 2, we saw Tyler Merritt at the front of the field with Eddie Baker and Braxton DeWeese on the podium.
Bill Hagan's going to need a new fire suit whenever he gets to his first green flag pit stop of the evening. As you go single file on board here with Eddie Baker from the spoiler camera to the roof camera. As you're looking out front of his truck, looking at the number 8 of Braxton DeWeese, the 38 of Tyler Merritt. Going to complete lap number 3. Tyler going to open his Smoky Mountain Sim Racing Truck Series debut up at the front, going 1-1-1 through the first 3 laps as we go boozy tipsy camera, drone flying, presented by Dustin.
And this is what you're going to see here in the beginning half of this race. Everybody's going to start to run the bottom, some guys on the middle of the racetrack. But as this run progresses, those tires are going to wear out. You're going to start to see guys move up towards the top half of this racetrack, which that top of the racetrack can get some big momentum off turns 1 and 2. And for the first time tonight, we have our first iRacing I-Flag caution of the evening. And it looks like it could be a big wreck in the back half of the field. I see Brandon Cooper, maybe Charles Whitehead as well, off turn number 4. And I saw it just for a moment going into turn 3, Jeremy, that Dana Ryan got really loose into 3 and 4. And you see right there, gets loose right on the exit of turn 4. Nobody really has any time to check up. He gets hit from Chris Cash. Brandon Cooper gets involved. Charles Whitehead. So about a 4-truck pileup here early in the going off turn number 4.
Now with 13 truck count there, that's a quarter of your field there. You see the one he's been struggling for grip since lap 1. I saw him off of turn 4 exiting on the first lap, and he was loose and had to drive it almost to the grass there, so he was just searching for grip. Stephen Harding comes through. He's going to lose a fender. Oh, and then right there, the number 40, Charles Whitehead. So that's going to be 5 trucks actually in total here with some type of damage from this first wreck, and he went airborne.
Yeah, he did go airborne. Let's right on board here. The number 40 Coors Light machine off turn 4 kind of just starts going. And I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know why some of these guys didn't brake coming out of turn number 4. I mean, they had about a good 3 seconds to start really getting on the brakes off turn 4. And a couple of them just piled in right there. You know, not really an excuse for a driver to not be able to brake coming off turn 4. And that's probably going to end the night of a few drivers. And it's only a 13-truck field, 3 more than what we had last week at Daytona. Nobody wants to see that early on. But I think already, just based off the first 6 laps, we know who's going to fire off really well. But we're still yet to see that long run because we're obviously so early on to the beginning of this race here tonight. You see that 40 truck of Charles Whitehead on pit road getting that right front fender fixed. I believe that truck's going to be in the pits for quite some time, Jeremy.
Yeah, that's a broken suspension of some sort. Maybe check the radiator. Of course, the steering's going to be way out of tow. There's quite a few things they're going to have to work on underneath that sheet metal to get that thing up and running. And to touch base on that wreck and that wreck avoidance, us drivers, we're wired to go fast, right? And so when you see the smoke, the first instinct should be, yeah, you should go, you know what, there's going to be a caution. There's a wreck in the middle of the field. Why don't you just back it down and give it up? But then there's a part of you that goes, you know what? What if there's not a yellow flag? What if it stays green? I need to get through this as quick as possible. And that's where, us drivers should just kind of, give it up there. And that would have saved the 40 from some damage for sure. Maybe the number 1. But, they made the choice. And now we're going back to green flag this lap. And 5 trucks pretty decent damage. I think a couple are going to be repaired to be okay for this restart, but it's going to shorten up this field just a little bit. And here comes the 69 Christopher Cash, going to try to catch up to the field before we go green.
He's about 43 seconds back from the race leader. He might be able to get there because I believe they're coming off of turn number 2 right now. But he is flying going into 1 and 2. So this should be this should be an interesting restart here, Jeremy. Granted, we've had a few laps on the tires. Now we're going to start to see what slightly, and I mean that with the littlest grain of salt, slightly used tires are going to do here on this restart. We had a fairly clean start to the race. Had a couple guys spin the tires off turn number 4 into the restart zone. But now with about 5-lap old tires, will we see a difference on the restart? Well, we're about to find out right now.
Here we go, and green flag for the second time this evening. A nice start here from the 38, Mr. Tyler Merritt. Going to get about a 1 truck length plus advantage over Braxton DeWeese, who slides from the outside into second place there in front of Eddie Baker, who's going to slide up in front of the 48 Austin Wheeler. Has to choke it up just a little bit, decides to not make the pass effort here. Single file top 4, 5th and 6th. Now finally goes single file there. The 47 Colwell takes that advantage. Driving off into turn number 3 and 4. LeMay is driver number 5, but car number 0 on the track. So don't let that get confusing. 5-0, single file, lap number 9.
Baker nearly took the nose off of Wheeler there on the exit of turn number 2. Just 1 lap to go, and that time he's going to get a little bit wide off turn 2. Here comes Wheeler. Thought about making a move to the inside. Now he's going to tuck back in line, but meanwhile, battle for the race lead for just a moment. Braxton DeWeese looked to have gone to the outside of Tyler Merritt, who's going to slide up a little bit. DeWeese is going to get a slight run here down the front straightaway. Looks to the outside here on lap number 10. And by the way, DeWeese fastest lap of the race last time around, 30.516. And DeWeese is right on the right rear quarter panel coming off turn 2. Battle for the lead down the backstretch.
Got a huge amount of speed off that corner exit there. Almost clears Tyler into turn 3. And Braxton now with the preferred lane on corner exit. Tyler just can't hold anything down, can't turn, can't hold throttle. And now he's going to get passed real quick by the 84 of Eddie Baker. So just like that, running a few hot laps up at the front is going to shift you back quickly into 3rd, possibly 4th, as Austin Wheeler looking to quickly get there. But he gets loose himself and drives up the track.
Yeah, he hit the apron right there on the exit of turn 2. That's exactly what caused that 48 truck to kind of unstabilize itself off the bottom side and kind of just jolt up. And not only that, but did DeWeese take the lead? Baker moves into 2nd, and Merritt has kind of fallen back. He made quick work to slot himself back into 3rd. But another battle for the lead up at the front of this field. Here comes Eddie Baker down to the bottom of Braxton DeWeese, side by side through turn number 2. Baker, slight movement out of the truck on the bottom side, but DeWeese gonna power around him on that outside lane, brings Tyler Merritt with him, closes up the gap. Oh, and Baker's going to get a little bit tight, but you see Tyler Merritt moved up slightly to get that bigger run off turn 4. He's going to be able to clear him, move Tyler Merritt into the 2nd spot here at the line.
Back to P2 he goes, and he's hungry. He's right on the back bumper of Braxton into turn number 1 on lap 13, with 13 stage laps to go for stage number 1 here. Remaining single file down the back straightaway. Who's going to make the next pass effort? Drives off into 3. Eddie Baker's going to go up to the 2nd to 3rd groove to try to find some speed. Looks like he's going to carry through 3. Oh, the 38 gets choked up. Had to get off the throttle a lot. Baker to the inside, passing for P2.
And Merritt really drove it down into turn number 3. He tried to pack some air on the left rear of Braxton DeWeese, but just couldn't get there enough. DeWeese maintained his spot, stayed stable, and just kind of just kept on trucking. And then you saw Baker move to the inside. Here comes Merritt, though, back to the outside. Passes Baker on the top side with the run from the corner. Here comes Merritt trying to pack a little bit more dirty air on that left rear, but just can't. He just kind of gets really tight. Remember how sensitive these trucks are here at these mile-and-a-halfs. Maybe not so much this one compared to a Charlotte per se, but man, these things get really aerotight like the newer Cup cars do here. But again, on an abrasive surface, we're going to get to see the Cup cars at the real Chicagoland Speedway in just 1 week from Sunday. for July 4th weekend. That should be a fun one on a bumpy racetrack. And here comes Eddie Baker down on the bottom of the racetrack again on Tyler Merritt. But look at Austin Wheeler. He's wheeling and dealing. He goes from the bottom to top, back to the top again. But it looks like he's going to lose a spot, maybe to Bryson Cowell there. A lot of great racing. Jeremy's so hard to keep up with him.
This is the better of the two things I was expecting. Not so much every single truck here in the top 5 to be on top of each other this far into a green flag run, but it is producing some fantastic racing here. It doesn't matter if there's only 9 or 8 drivers in this pack. It's a hell of a time. The number 0/5 is going to bounce off the outside wall of turn 4. That's Mr. LeMay. As he gets back into turn number 1, looks like his truck from the outside looks like it's going to be just fine, as it causes a little separation between himself and Austin Wheeler for P4.
And here comes Caldwell to the inside in that 5-wide sports machine, down to the bottom, into turns 3 and 4. And for the time being, it looks like this number 5 machine of Joey LeMay is just kind of cruising around that top side. Feels very planted up at the top of the racetrack, likes the way that truck is handling. But up towards the front of this field, starting to see a little bit of separation for the first time. We're now 18 laps into this run. Granted, we had that early caution around lap 4 or 5, but these tires are starting to settle in. Last time around, 31.5 practically for DeWeese. His best lap is a 30.5, so already 1 second worth of fall off within about 10 laps of green flag racing, and now he's starting to pull away from Tyler Merritt, who gets up into the wall off turn number 4. That opens up the door for Austin Wheeler. He'll move to the bottom of the racetrack, brings Baker and LeMay as well, and now Wheeler and Merritt go wheel to wheel through turns 1 and 2.
Great battle here right now as they settle back single file momentarily down the back straightaway. 7 laps to go in this stage. Braxton and Wheeler with a nice little breakaway here as we got 2 packs essentially on top of each other here to close out stage number 1. Who is going to get Braxton DeWeese back in frame? They got a half a second to gain. Oh, maybe some contact between Eddie Baker and Tyler. Got
Sideways
close there. They got arrow washed. The 38 pushes way up the track. Here's LeMay to try to take maybe a 2-for-1 down the back straightaway.
And LeMay is right there waiting in the wings, like you mentioned, Jeremy, right behind these two. We've seen guys heading into turn 3 kind of wash up the track. Look at Baker. That car is starting to go above those seams. Him and Merritt still side by side. Joe LeMay saying, what do I got to do to get past these two guys as they work their way into 1? Still side by side. LeMay's going to back out of the throttle a little earlier than them. Run about a half a lane higher than Merritt. Here comes Baker. They might make contact. They don't, but it was damn near close as Baker starts to fall out of the draft a little bit because he loses all that momentum off too. And LeMay looks to the outside. Now we got a battle. And here comes Bill Hagan in the number 9 machine. Look at him flying through this field.
They keep out like this. Now we have a 2-truck breakaway at the front. Everybody else is tiptoeing around one another to try to pick up the most stage points they possibly can. 4 laps to go this stage. Close quarter race. And where did Bill Hagan come from? The self-spinner all of a sudden puts himself in position for a potential top 5 stage 1. He's currently in 6th, looking around Joey LeMay. He might do it from the inside here. Closing in. 3 laps remaining.
And remember, Jeremy, Bill Hagan, he was one of those guys to pit on lap 5 because of an incident. He spun after lap 1, coming to 2 off 4, but he saved it. So he just stayed out, ran around, didn't get any damage from that half spin he had, did a hell of a job saving the truck, and then he pitted. Once we had that first caution for the melee off 4, he's got fresher tires. Last time around, he ran a 32.0, so he's right on par. 2 laps ago, he was about 3 to 5 tenths faster than some of the guys up inside the top 8. Bill Hagan on the move, and he's looking to move into the 4th spot, gets around Tyler Merritt, who is struggling for grip with 2 to go in the stage.
Hagan doing a hell of a job here. Remember, they got 5 sets of tires, 1 on the truck, 4 behind the wall. So you can expel an extra set if you needed to, especially when you got these green flag runs and you catch a quick caution. You can do something like that, and it's working wonders for him as we're closing up to the white flag. 1 to go for stage number 1, and no one has caught the number 8 Braxton DeWeese easy set and sail. Apparently he's got a really strong long run truck underneath him here. Less than a mile remains.
And Deweese just done so good tonight. I can't believe he was able to get around Tyler Merritt as quick as he did. And Merritt didn't just lose 1 or 2. He's lost 4 spots since the start of this race, since we went back green. And Braxton is just chugging along, man. He's pulled out to nearly a second gap. Jeremy, I think we know who possibly could be the favorite here tonight if this race goes green.
And that's going to be your pick, as we're going to wait for the entire field to cross the line before we get the yellow flag. And there it is, second yellow planned, this time for stage caution. So when we go back to green flag racing, we will be stage 2 racing. These guys are going to catch up to the pace car, get the pit road, get on some 4 virtual Goodyears and a full tank of virtual Sunoco fuel. And it's going to be time for our pit stop as we go picture in picture, and then maybe we can talk to that stage winner, Braxton Deweese, when we return.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful, booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair, now available.
And welcome back here. 1 lap to go. We're going to bring in Braxton for a quick conversation before we return him back to his channel. Braxton, congratulations on stage 1 victory. Awesome job, man. What are we going to do to see you win stage 2, aka the whole race?
Oh, well, I just caught the end of it there, but pretty good start to the race here. But hopefully we can keep it up here, keep it in the clean air, or at least keep ourselves confident with our strategy and whatnot. Feels very close, so we'll see what we can do here, and hopefully we can not only win the stage but win the race.
All right, keep all 4 fenders on it, man. Smooth wheel, and maybe we'll talk to you here at the end of this thing.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. That's Braxton Deweese. Thank you for that quick word there. We tried to squeak in all of our partners on that commercial break, but we just couldn't do it because everybody likes to support the nerds, and over here it's Smoky Mountain, and that's perfectly fine. But we'll get to them as the stage 2 progresses through. Throttles at the ready. Green flag, green, 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 green. Back in the air here for the 3rd time as Braxton knows how to get it done on these restarts. Going to clear at least 1 truck length. He's got Austin Wheeler this time in the 48 right behind him. They go top 5, 6, single filed already just like that before turn 1.
Yeah, and Deweese probably had the best start of the 2 we've seen on fresh tires here tonight. for a race leader who pulled out to about a truck length or two. But here we go, another battle for the lead. Entering turn number 3, Austin Wheeler did not want to wait anymore. He wanted that race lead, but now with him going to the bottom, losing all the momentum, here comes Eddie Baker to the top of the racetrack, entering 1 and 2. Baker tries to wrap the middle lane while Wheeler thinks about trying to go to the inside lane. Baker gets a huge surge of momentum down the back straightaway into turn number 3.
Quarters there. I thought the 48 of Austin was going to tag the 84 of Eddie Baker getting to turn 3, but that might have been just splitting hairs. Now they're going to be door to door off of turn 4 here to complete lap 31 of the scheduled 101 laps here this evening for the BK Designs 101. Find them on Facebook, by the way. And oh, 48 Austin Wheeler wicked loose there is going to choke up Tyler. I thought there was going to be a pass there on the outside of him from Colwell. He backs it back down, single file once more into 3.
Yeah, and back into turns 3 and 4, you see Tyler Merritt again trying to pack some air on one driver, and he will. Austin Wheeler really sideways through turn number 4, and that's going to stack up the field big time on back. Not only does Tyler Merritt get to the inside, oh, one truck in the wall. That's the 5 of Joey LeMay. Pancakes it flat on the right side, heading out of the tri-oval, or should I say quad-oval. They're heading down the front straightaway. Doesn't look like there's a lot of damage to that truck, but we'll see how it is as the run progresses. Hard hit into the wall for the 5 machine, but he keeps on trucking.
And that's the second time he's done that, at least on camera this evening. We got 5 on the top, 2 on the bottom here in the front part of this field. 84 Eddie Baker leading this thing at the moment, driving where he's been for the most part of this race, kind of utilizing that second and third lane. Got to make sure that right front's in check and not getting too loose up there on the top hand. But right now, early in this run, he's doing just a mighty fine job keeping these trucks at bay right behind him as Braxton trying to close in, try to regain that race lead.
And a big moment there for Tyler Merritt. He almost started to get a little tight, nearly got in the left door of Wheeler through 3 and 4. Here comes LeMay to the outside of Merritt. Looks like that damage is not making him any slower. It might have made him a little faster to the outside. It's going to be a battle for the 4th position. Might bring in Bryson Colwell as well. Here comes Dana Ryan in the 1 machine as well. About a 4. Oh, and there goes the 5 into the wall again through turn number 3. That'll give a clear position to Merritt off turn number 4, slots himself right in the 4th spot. But meanwhile, battle for the lead up at the front again. It's between DeWeese and Baker as they head into 1.
Side by side race lead up for grabs here is Braxton trying on the inside. Eddie's going to run it wide that time, and look at the launch off the corner exit. Turn 2 exit on the outside is just a strong boost of momentum all the way into turn 3, and it typically can work out as long as you hit your marks. Is now all of a sudden Braxton on the top. You're gonna have to try to fend off the 48 of Austin Wheeler. Looks like he's almost got him cleared, almost just by a small portion of their fender. And then just like that into turn 1, Austin's gonna drive it in deep, gonna make the corner stick, but off, look at that huge 3 to 5 mile an hour boost. Braxton gonna take that position.
And Eddie Baker loves this right behind him. He's got these 2 guys battling for position. Granted, they're still about 4/10 of a second back. Looks like DeWeese is finally going to be able to clear Wheeler off turn number 4. That's going to bring Joey LeMay to the outside now, battle for a podium spot. Wheeler gets a little bit loose, trying to side draft the 0 machine. Also the 5 on your scoring pylon there at the bottom of your screen. And Wheeler does not get the run he wants off turn number 2. And that will give the 3rd spot to the 5 of Joey LeMay, who again enters the top side through 3 and 4.
Great window shot here, looking at the 48. And you can see that outside momentum is just so strong here. Even off of turn 4, it's not as strong, but watch this one. You're going to see the 48 go out of picture frame. And actually, he does. He drives it hard enough to clear. But then you see the crossover, even after he checked up, he's still going to try to make the pass effort. Think second about it, decides to not do it, then he's going to go back to the top where he feels more comfortable. And now we're going to be looking at the 47 here on the outside as he's trying to go around Bill Hagan out here back in the pack. 40 laps into this overall race. So we have just over, 60 to go.
And we pitted at lap 27. We're on lap 40 now. The times have fallen off by almost a second. So it's getting to that point where tire wear is starting to go, is going to play a factor. We saw Braxton DeWeese on the shorter end of it in stage 1. He kind of outlasted everybody on the tires. They were about over a second and fall off. We're yet to really see that. We're in the 31.2s and 3s. But everybody's fastest lap was around the 30.5s and the low 5s. So I haven't really seen the tire wear that we're used to seeing yet. Oh, and one car, rather, truck into the wall. That was Tyler Merritt off turn number 2. Really surprised to see it. And I'm not, this is no diss. This is no diss at all to anybody with the I rating. But really surprised. We saw Tyler run the fastest lap of the day in qualifying. Qualified up front on the pole. Currently running in that 5th spot, and he is a fast driver, and currently just running around. Ever since the end of that stage, we haven't really seen him up at the front battling for the lead just yet. Granted, we're not even halfway through this race yet. I expect Tyler to be up at the front towards the end of this, but if he's just going to keep battling like this between him, Joey LeMay, and Austin Wheeler, I think it's going to be a tough task for him, as well as the rest of the field, to try to catch Eddie Baker and Braxton DeWeese.
Yeah, 100% there. And some of these guys have a really good high I ratings too, looking down the list. I mean, they got a good mix, right? You got your 1,000, 2,000s, and Tyler coming up here with a 50, 200. But it just goes to show you, even if you got the high rating, if you're at a track that you're not driving on each and every single week, these guys probably drive here only for league sessions, right? So, and that's it. Nothing official really comes here anymore. So it's just like a one-off track that, you know, if you just have the skill set from in the past, if you've done iRacing for so long, you just kind of know how to get around here. We're going to take a look real quick here, because we've had a lot of mixing up in positions. We're going to go to the biggest movers presented by the Shirtitudes, which you can pick up your nerd gear at nerditudes.gg. And there you go. There's the stuff on the left, but the stats are on the right. Bill Hagan up 5 positions. Mitch Diamond up 4. Austin Wheeler, Dana Ryan, and Bryson Colwell up 2 positions. Just to show you what it looks like. Almost to the halfway mark of this 100-lap event presented by BK Designs. And there's the embroidered hats that we can do, and the sim racing gloves with the green Scolies, with our classic digital watch and our logos. And you know that once again at nerditudes.gg, and look for Nerd Swag for the Shirtitudes product.
Yeah, some of the best, comfiest, and obviously best in the business when it comes to any of that stuff. We got our new shirts, Jeremy, in the mail, courtesy of Dustin, not that long ago, man. These things are comfy. If you're looking for something to work out with, go outside, do some yard work with, or just lounge around the house, doesn't matter, man. These things are comfy as hell. I love my new shirt. It's bright, colorful. We obviously got a lot of shirts in the store, and obviously Scott and everybody at Icon Apparel does the best. So looking forward to seeing all the designs that come out for the rest of the year, and looking forward to seeing how this is going to play out for this run. The fuel run, we were told from Chris Cash and Steve, our race director, he was saying that it was about 35 laps on a tank of fuel. We are currently 20 laps after these guys pitted, so we should probably see pit stops, if I had to guess, around lap 65 or so. That's going to be interesting to see, because, Jeremy, remember, you talk about those older tires, sliding them into the pits. This is one of those tougher tracks to get on the pit road, and I know we say that about every racetrack, but that window to get down onto the apron on a flat surface is so difficult here, especially on worn tires.
Yeah, I kind of very briefly touched on it in a pre-race show, watching one driver quickly going down pit road. Is we got one of our few rare Nerd TV replays here, as we're going to watch the 47. We're going to see what Bryson does. Oh, he's going to go dirt track and a little 2-for-1 to cut the front grass. I know he's going to chop both ends of the quad oval off. That was kind of wild, as they just, him in the, what was that, the 40? Yeah, just going nose to tail all the way through the grass in the first half of the quad oval. Great saves, though.
Yeah, definitely great saves. I believe it was Corbin Forrester years ago in the Truck Series went through that grass and went up in the air a significant amount after the split had digged into the grass, or rather dug into the grass off turn 4. So great save by those two. We have no yellow. Everybody keeps on trucking. Jeremy, you've been noticing here at the top of the racetrack, Eddie Baker's been running right there. The gap has still been the same, really. It hasn't grown more than about 2/10 from the start of when everybody kind of started to single file out after the first like 5 or 10 laps or so after the run started on this set of Goodyear Eagles. The gap is only 0.6 of a second back from Baker to Deweese. And obviously Deweese, Wheeler, they're battling. So Eddie Baker wants to see them battle. Here it comes Wheeler to the top of the racetrack on Deweese. He should get a great surge of momentum off turn number 2 if he doesn't get too loose, and does. So he's going to close up to the back bumper of this 8 machine down the back straightaway. And I think he's going to keep running that outside. This is what you're going to start to see as the night progresses throughout this run. But Wheeler, oh, he really crossed over. That's going to hurt that right front a bunch. When you usually commit to one lane, you don't want to go to the bottom or go to the top after committing to one. So that's going to hurt that right front. Oh, and just like that, we have our third caution of the evening. I believe this one's going to be for Dana Ryan. Saw some squirreliness of him off turn number 4. And you can see right there some damage on the right front. That'll bring out our third iRacing iFlag caution of the evening.
It's going to involve 2 trucks, at least initially from the report. And there's a Bill Hagan actually going to slam the outside wall.
No.
Oh, no.
Bam.
Just a crossover. Don't tell me Bill's going to save it. He does. That's 2 saves on the front straightaway, but Dana Ryan just gets blindsided and destroyed on the front stretch wall. Oh, no. Then just crosses over the traffic. I would call that a rookie move, but I know Dana's not a rookie. You got to keep it up on the outside lane when you're way off pace, knowing there's traffic potentially right behind you.
Yeah, that might be some sort of penalty going into next week. That is a big rookie move. I will agree with you. And, man, that one truck almost took off for a second. We know after about, what was it, last year, Jeremy, these trucks had an update where if they get turned around at a certain speed, they go up off the ground. That one truck almost took up off the ground. You saw when it slapped the wall with the right side and kind of tail-fished it, or fishtailed it into the wall. That one truck's left side started to lift up off the ground, but it set itself back down, so good to see that. Obviously, it's the virtual world, so nobody's going to get hurt. But here we go, pit stops. This could be the final one of the evening, possibly. You see the 38 machine of Tyler Merritt overshoots his box, had to back it up. I believe that Eddie Baker should be clear here coming out of the pits. He is, and him and Deweese look like they're going to be 1-2 out of the pits. Great stops by them and Wheeler as well.
It's like clean pit stops all the way through the leaders here. So watching the final ones trickle down and out of pit road. I think we're going to talk to another driver on this round of caution laps. And we're going to talk to the leader coming into that caution, Eddie Baker in the 84. We're going to let him catch the pace truck here. And once he gets comfortable behind, or pace car rather, once he gets comfortable there, then I'm going to pull him in from his WFO channel with Joey LeMay. He's getting all buttoned up right here. We're going to bring him in. So here is the 84. Eddie Baker. Eddie, this is Jeremy in the booth with Jason. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Really fast truck out there, dude. You're running up there on the higher lanes than most others. You're making it work. What's the magic that you have with this 84 in Old Atlanta?
Honestly, just a really big fan of this type of track. I've been begging to do some sort of legitimate NASCAR, not that next-gen dumpster fire. So finally in my wheelhouse. I just like tire managing, and I like driving it off the right rear.
Well, you got it here. Jason, what you got for Eddie?
Okay, now, Eddie, if you can tell Chris that you want Old Atlanta now, can you please clamor him to bring back the damn 2009 Silverado?
I did try. I saw your idea about that. I lobbied for it pretty hard, but he couldn't find any good sets for it, so we just stuck with this.
Man,
there you go.
that's a
Jason,
damn
need to
shame.
produce setups, man.
Yeah, I might have to get back on the service and start building sets.
There you go. Eddie, man, I appreciate your time. I'm going to bring you back down because you're about to go back to green flag.
Thanks, guys. Let's see if we can go get a win.
Yes, sir. Good luck, man. That was Eddie Baker, driver of the 84. Don't usually bring down too many drivers into this booth, and figured I had some time this time, and thanks to him for giving us a second. And just like that, we're gonna go back to green flag this time. Gonna launch it for the 4th time. The green flappy fabric thing that Dustin would call it is out. Green flag back underway here. Watch the tire spin. Looks like I don't see too many of it. A little hesitation from the 47. That might have been a little burp of the throttle from tire spin. It's going to allow Tyler Merritt to drive to the inside underneath. Braxton DeWeese going to try to take 3rd place here.
But this is the thing, we've seen this number 8 machine get so around, not the 8, my apologies, the 38 machine. He does so good on these restarts, but after those first 2 laps when everybody starts getting up to speed, that 38 has had a tendency to kind of fall off. You see Wheeler slams the door shut. He gets loose into 3 and 4. Oh, and he gets sideways up with the 47 hard up into the wall. Pancakes it flat. Will he keep it straight? He does. That's Bryson Cowell, who was having a great night. And that right side destroyed. And I can only imagine, Jeremy, off turn 4, that was all due to that 48 getting loose.
Yeah, Austin getting loose, and then the 47 and 38 kind of correcting their race line after that. And once you do that on cold tires, if you make any subtle movement at high speeds, you're just along for the ride. And that is going to be everything that Colwell did not need to see. He's going to be done competitively for this evening. As we're looking on board now, here's your top 4. Oh, the 48's going to get a little loose. Tyler's going to try to drive underneath him. Can't make it happen. Here comes Braxton looking underneath Eddie for the race lead.
And here he comes, Mr. Braxton DeWeese. By the way, 30.485, only driver to crack into the forest here tonight with the fastest lap of the race. But Baker ran his fastest lap last time around with a 30.528. Door-to-door, quarter panel to fender, back to turns 1 and 2. They're door-to-door now with Austin Wheeler closing the gap back behind them as they battle off 2.
Strong battle here. Just turn 2 momentum is so hard to compete with. Even with the side draft down the back straightaway, still have to drop back single file into turn 3 this time. Coming up to 42 to go. And the top 5 are still all nose to tail trying to do this. Braxton with a great run off before. Going to go back to the inside of Eddie Baker, who's holding the outside lane hostage. And he's got 2/3 of a truck cleared. Can he get him all the way? No, not this time. Eddie's going to get the great launch off the corner.
And here comes Austin Wheeler. He got a big surge of momentum coming off turn 2 as well. He is right on the rear tailgate nearly of DeWeese, who runs the bottom side of the racetrack, still door-to-door. Jeremy, I feel like I'm in the late 2000s here watching this race at Atlanta here tonight. It's been so fun. 3 wide for the race lead. Here comes Austin Wheeler to the bottom of the racetrack on DeWeese and Baker. Baker's going to slam the door shut on DeWeese. Wheeler gets loose off turn number 2, opens the door for Merritt, who will move to the outside lane, surges ahead into 3rd. He'll try to drop down in front of the 48, but can't as they single file themselves off turn 3 and 4.
Love the move from Austin Wheeler to try to make that pass happen. A little 2 for 1, but then it choked him up so much on exit. Tyler's going to be able to take 3rd place, and now he's going to look underneath the 8 truck for 2nd as they try to split the 84 in turn 1 and turn 2. Eddie goes up to the outside quickly. Maybe the 8 slaps the wall just a touch. Tyler has to drop back down. Single file top 5.
And here comes DeWeese. Going to throw everything but the kitchen sink again at Eddie Baker. Drops all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack, but Baker will not give up. He tank slaps the wall on turn 4. Still holds the race lead with DeWeese closing the gap again. These two will not let up on each other, and while they battle up at the front of the field, this opens up the door for Merritt behind them, and Wheeler, and don't look now, but Joey LeMay is waiting right in the wings of these 4 drivers there in that 5th spot. 5 trucks under a blanket. This looks like some late 2000s NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series action here from Atlanta.
Crazy good racing right now. 64 laps down. We have 38 laps remaining in this event, sponsored by BK Designs. Speaking of BK Designs, they are tonight's whole sponsor here for this race, so we're going to give them a quick shout out. BK Designs specializes in high quality custom iRacing paints for just $25 and with $15 redos. So if you're looking for a sleek, professional look or a bold, eye-catching design, look no further than BK Designs. Find them on Facebook, as we still have a great battle here for the race lead. Jason almost makes door-to-door contact. 8 in the 84. Braxton is there. Slide job.
Oh,
Got
we
him.
got him! What a move by DeWeese. And Jeremy, I was waiting for you to finish that ad read. I was going to say DeWeese threw it all down in there. Let's see if we can take a look here at the Nerd TV replayer. We can get a rewind. Dustin knows what I want. I want to see that coming into turns 1 and 2. So this is going off turn number 4. The 84 gets a really bad run coming off 4. You'll see DeWeese here down to the inside lane. Side drafts him all the way down the front stretch into 1 and 2. The 84 takes a little bit lower lane than he wanted to, I think. Wanted to travel to the top of the racetrack, but had to pack some air. And whoa, DeWeese cuts it so close off turn number 2. That could be the race-winning move after we have our next round of green flag pit stops, which we should see here around lap 75, maybe 85, somewhere around there. We'll see how this race progresses throughout the rest of this last run here as we are approaching the final quarter of this race.
Braxton typically has had a faster truck on the inside. He is running the defensive line, running right where Eddie Baker does, taking the air off that nose, forcing him to go up to the 4th groove if he has to. Braxton, a little more conservative there, drops a little bit lower and is still able to keep Eddie Baker at bay. He closes in, just not enough to make the pass effort there. And look at that, going to make him trail in his wake. Going to push him up the track there, maybe not where he's too comfortable. And off of turn number 2, a little loose there from Braxton. Does Eddie go for the inside?
He should right now. I don't know why he would put DeWeese in a position where he's not going to be comfortable. Put him up at the top of the racetrack and have to battle somebody on his inside. He has been a driver that I have seen all night, Jeremy, that has run on the bottom side of the racetrack. He has not wanted to travel up to the top there, and I think that's why Eddie Baker has been able to get there. And here we go. This time DeWeese tries to pack it on the 84's door, but off turn number 2, he can't make the run. That number 84 is still strong, cuts him right off turn number 2. So he got just enough of a run. But look at this. Where did he come from? Tyler Merritt all the way to the outside lane. He's going to battle with Baker for second. And here comes Wheeler as well off turn number 4. 32 laps to go here from Atlanta.
Turn the blender on here on the top 4 there, just mixing each other up all over the place. We've seen Austin go 3 wide before. He is not hesitant of doing such. Looks for it, gets a little loose himself, has to back down the throttle, sits behind the 84 momentarily as Eddie Baker and Tyler Merritt go side by side into turn number 3. Is Tyler gonna cuts it so close? 84 got tight. He's not only going to give up second, he's going to go all the way back to P5 with just that simple tight mistake there in turn 3.
Yeah, and that was all because he got tight entering 3 and 4, washed up, made a little bit of contact. If not that, it was by about a sheet of paper you could put in between those two drivers. And now we have a change of the guard for second, third, and fourth. That's Merritt, Wheeler, and LeMay from second to fourth. DeWeese continuing to lead. And Jeremy, remember at the end of stage 1, this is at that point of the race where during a run, you saw DeWeese pull out to about a 7 to 9 tenths of a second gap over the field. But with the run that's been going on for 20 laps nearly, it's still tight as can be. Merritt and Wheeler are right there, only 3 tenths back. But here comes Wheeler to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll work it down into turns 3 and 4. Merritt thought about trying to pack some air down. He does. He'll get the run off turn 4, easily able to clear Wheeler, but he gets up into the wall just slightly, and that's going to kill his momentum down the front straightaway. And here comes Joey LeMay in that number 5 machine to the outside here as they work into 1 and 2.
As we're looking at the spoiler camera, the 48 Austin Wheeler trying to clear Tyler, not going to make it happen this time. Tight. He has to, and cut off the number 5, and they slapped the wall a little bit late on the backstretch heading to turn number 3. And then all this is going on, and Braxton DeWeese, the long run hero in stage 1, and he's got a nice, comfortable half a second plus lead over these guys who are side by side trying to pass for second, and Tyler Merritt scrapes the wall again. into turn number 1, 28 laps remaining.
And that is such a common thing to do here in Atlanta. We've seen so many guys slap the wall on entry into 1 and into 3. It's been a common thing for years and years at this racetrack, ever since before the reconfig in 2022. But look at this. Now we mentioned it was about 7 to 9 tenths, and now as I say that, here we go. First round of green flag pit stops all night long, and it looks like the 38 of Tyler Merritt is going to play the short game. He will shortcut everybody to pit road. This is going to open up that door wide. We mentioned lap 75 to 85. We would see guys down on pit road. Maybe this could be what will take him all the way to the finish to the checkered flag in first. And I expect to see some drivers here on pit road any second now here as they work off turn 4. Wheeler and Baker bumper to bumper here as DeWeese continues to put a gap on them.
Baker giving him the business here as he shoves him into turn number 1, but the 48 of Austin Wheeler does not budge. He holds his lane, gets the drive into turn number 1, and got a good enough handling of that truck into turn 2, able to, but then the last second there, Baker gets all the slipstream, drives at the inside, slide job crossover. Does the 48 go back to the inside?
Oh!
He does not, as Baker,
DeWeese spins! DeWeese spins on pit road, coming to the entrance of it. He got a little too high entering pit road, and that is going to probably be a race-ending mistake for Braxton DeWeese off turn number 4. Tried to go from high to get to the bottom side, and the truck stepped out on him. Jeremy, this changes everything up at the front of this field.
Yeah, this absolutely does. The long run guy gonna take a big slip up here. Just you apply the brake on a slick tire here at Bumpy Atlanta, and you just better make sure that you have full confidence in your truck, or things like that are going to happen. Great job not hitting the wall, by the way, but this is going to take him out of any race winning contention if we stay green all the way through. 24 laps remaining, and all of a sudden I'm really liking the 38 Tyler Merritt making that early pit stop. I think he's going to be the clear-cut leader after these green flag round of pit stops.
He might be the clear-cut leader, but I tell you what, based on the stats here tonight, when they've gone green and run long, that 38 was not the strongest of the bunch. I think that he definitely has a little bit of a disadvantage on the long run because he pitted right on the money with 35 laps to go almost. You have 23, or rather it wasn't 35, but it was roughly around 35-ish laps to go. You got 23 now. They're hitting lap 80 this time. Will we see anybody to pit road? It might be Austin Wheeler. He's the only one on the bottom side. Everybody top side. And no, still no takers down on pit road. So they might be trying to play the long game. Jeremy, I don't really think I like this. I mean, I don't care how fast it is. 2 seconds difference on tires, man. I mean, they've run a significant amount of laps more than what that 38 of Tyler Merritt has been able to close down on them. So with Merritt having those faster tires, he has been able to close in that gap tremendously, and he's going to get his lap back here in the next couple laps if they don't pit.
Yeah, and the key note right there is our producer kind of tagged us. 2 tires for Tyler Merritt on the green flag pit stop. We're going to take 2 tires. Obviously, it's working. He's caught up to these guys, no problem on speed. I'm just really, with 21 laps to go and these guys still not, that might be you call the race, man. Quick pit stop, and you don't have to go super long on the run. I wasn't even thinking of a 2 tire as a situation to think about, but he's doing it, and look at him. He's just flying by these guys.
Yeah, and that's all because of those 2 tires, and slides right up in front of Austin Wheeler being aggressive last time around for everybody. You have Eddie Baker, 32.219. Merritt with a 31.372. So only about a second difference. I don't know if the 2 tires are going to pay off tremendously, because those left sides are going to wear out a lot, and you're still going to need left side grip to kind of plant yourself into the banking here at Atlanta. But I just don't know, man. Listen, we've had some crazy finishes ever since I came back here with you guys in Nerd TV. There's been a lot of unpredictable stuff. Here we go. Here's another one to pit road. Austin Wheeler finally takes to pit road. Out of those top 3 drivers, he should be able to leapfrog Baker and LeMay as long as he executes in and out of pit road. Jeremy, this is shaping up to be a good one to the finish.
Yeah, I love the strategies here, extending out this green flag run for some of these drivers. And we got at least one more on pit road, I think. Here comes the 84 current race leader. Gonna give it up here on lap 83 of the 101 scheduled laps. 19 laps to go. He's gonna bring the number 5, Joey LeMay, on pit road with him. So 2 trucks down this time. And this is it. We're gonna see where Tyler Merritt cycles through whenever there he is off a turn, or into turn 3 rather, this time, as the top 2 are in their pit stalls now. This is going to be a big lead momentarily with 18 laps coming up to 17. Do we get there?
Yeah, I think we do. I mean, we'll have to see how everything plays out here. Merritt's currently got the lead now that Baker and LeMay are on pit road. Baker is out. LeMay is out. We're going to see where they blend in here off turn number 2. You see there is LeMay just hitting the pit exit line. So Baker's going to be a little bit ahead of him, but Wheeler should be able to pass Baker easily on the exit of 2. And DeWeese, you know, with that tire slide, he's only about 5/10 faster than Tyler Merritt. So he's half a second faster, 5 seconds back. I don't expect him to get there. I don't even know if I expect Austin Wheeler to get there with 4 tires. So this should be a really interesting race all the way to the finish here.
17 laps remaining here. We got a 4.5 second lead between Merritt and DeWeese. And DeWeese was the one with the pit road fluke there when he spun out on entry. So it's really just going to be, well, I don't know. Right now, look on times.
Nobody knows.
DeWeese is actually running faster lap times. Yeah. He's already gained a half a second almost as we go driver versus driver. Great time to bring up this graphic. When we saw the 8 spin, I thought that was it. I said he was out of race winning contention if we go green flag, but he's gained a whole second here in a lap. I don't know.
Here's the thing. Think about it though. When he spun, had everybody had pitted about a lap or 2 sooner than what they did, and they didn't stay out as long as they did, I think DeWeese would be in the back, out of the contention. But now that we're seeing that he's projected to catch Tyler Merritt in 8 laps, which more than likely will happen as long as DeWeese keeps on keeping the pace that he can, keeps the tires on the truck, he's going to get there, and he has a legitimate shot to win. But with that being said, Austin Wheeler is only about 5 to 6 seconds back behind Braxton DeWeese. He will, I think, catch he will catch Tyler Merritt. Let's take a look here at the driver versus driver for Wheeler to Merritt. Look at that, 8 laps as well between these 2 drivers. So it's gonna happen. I think Wheeler has a legitimate shot here with 14 to go, and so does Eddie Baker. We saw how strong Eddie Baker was on the long run portion. He went to the top side. Wheeler was so loose on the later portion of that run. Jeremy, this is the beauty of this old track, with tire strategy being right on the fuel number. Everybody having various different laps across the board here. Within the top 5, you have 74, 76, 82, 83, and so on. This door is wide open for this win. And by the way, not to be that guy or give the commentators curse, but a caution would change everything.
Did you see the lap times plus 1 second difference each and every single lap from the 48.84 compared to your race leader? Quickly catching in. There's it one more time from Austin Wheeler. 1.1, 1.1, basically 1.0, 1, and then 1.1. So that is over a second a lap on average. That is, you see right there in the center, the actual average for those 5 laps. That is crazy amount of speed. Now, the 4 tires versus 2, that makes sense. I'm just trying to get, where does Braxton end up in this? He's about to take the race lead shortly. That's going to be with about 8 laps to go or such before he gets there. And then he's got to hold off these 2 drivers who obviously are coming in way faster. This is going to get really, really fun to see here in the closing in. I'm glad with 13 trucks here at Atlanta, we can have such an amazing race. And there's Braxton DeWeese versus Austin Wheeler.
Yeah, and I think that DeWeese, or not rather DeWeese, but I think Baker is faster than Wheeler. As you see the battle, this is probably what could be for the win, depending on how hard they battle and if we have anything happen. I think Baker is way faster than Wheeler. You see Wheeler get really loose off turn 2. They side draft, contact down the back straightaway off 2 into 3 now. Here comes Baker down to the bottom side of the racetrack. He has been mostly a top guy all night. And Wheeler's wicked loose through turn 4 and give it to Eddie Baker. He'll take the 3rd spot to the line. 9 laps remaining here in Atlanta.
Wheeler's wheeling that thing as that truck continues to just be loosey-goosey all the way through. Less than a second is your race leader versus second place, and you see everybody else in the same picture frame. Apparently Baker and Wheeler don't care. They are just going to hash it out now versus waiting to get to the race leader. At some point in time, the tire wear does plateau. Hopefully it doesn't come up sooner than later for these guys. 8 laps remaining. 0.3 is the gap between the 8 and the 38. Expect to pass for the race lead in the next lap or 2.
Dustin, give me that driver versus driver for DeWeese versus Baker. I would love to see that right now because I think they're going to get there. The question's going to be when. So in about 3 laps, it's projected for Baker to catch Merritt, and that's going to close in pretty shortly here. But remember, that number 8 machine of Braxton DeWeese, who just finally took the lead, is on fresher tires. He ran a 31.7 at the line that time. Eddie Baker, a 31.3, so he's only about 0.4 of a second faster than DeWeese. But with the projection that's looking like in 2 laps, Baker's going to get there. He's faster than Wheeler. And if I'm DeWeese, man, I am trying everything I can do to just save a little bit of tire right here for the end of this race. But he knows he's got older tires. This is just such a difficult decision to make if you're a driver on older tires. And knowing with only 6 laps to go, he's got 1 truck in the wall. That was Steve Harden, who's able to keep it out of harm's way. Here comes Baker to the bottom of Tyler Merritt. That'll be for second. Now the battle is on for the win.
There it is. Going to be 5 laps to go this time at the line. Baker's got plenty of time. Austin Wheeler's kind of lost the drive a little bit in his truck, trying to pass these next drivers really quickly to keep up with Baker. 5 laps remaining here in the BK Designs 101, and here is the look for the race lead and potentially the final time for the race lead as he pinches him.
Man.
Man.
Oh, it's going to get tight. I think the 8, he's going to have a huge run. Jeremy, he's going to have to do the exact same thing he did in the 1 and 2 if he wants to keep this race lead, but it's going to risk Baker really trying to shoot it down in there. He does, but DeWeese is going to pack more air on his door. This is perfect. This is everything DeWeese wants going through the corners. But while they battle, here comes Austin Wheeler. He is right there. DeWeese has to keep doing that to Baker if he wants to keep him sidelined on his inside.
Yeah, this is really risky because netcode can be a thing in the virtual world, but he's giving it all up.
This is so awesome.
And he's keeping them. I'm surprised with
Here
the
comes
amount
Wheeler.
of tire difference. Wheeler's going to make this a 3-truck race here, coming up with 3 laps to go. Baker knows he has to go high.
Oh, he's got him.
He's got to block him. He's got to go.
Oh,
no,
he might
no
put him in the
block.
wall. Oh, he almost put him in the wall there. He gets contact. DeWeese sideways at the line. Baker will take the race lead, and will he clear DeWeese into 1? He does not. Now he does. Eddie Baker to the front of the field with Austin Wheeler trailing in 3rd, trying to run him down.
Braxton with the move of the race to keep the much faster truck at bay. He's going to cut off the front nose of the 48. Does the 48 bump
Wheeler
him?
didn't
He's
like that.
packing air. No, he's going to get tight right behind him, has to choke it up, and Baker's just going to set sail this one. 2 laps to go, tons of space between the 48 and 84.
If I'm the 48, I am not happy, man. You already know you lost the lead, so why are you trying to fight me this hard for second? I know every point matters, but man, this has been such an intense race. If I'm Austin Wheeler, I am so mad at the number 8 machine at DeWeese. Granted, I know Baker's faster, but at least it gives him a little bit more of a chance than what he did this time by Jeremy. What a race to remember here for the Smoky Mountain Sim Series, man. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. Eddie Baker Who would have thought about halfway through this race? I mean, he was right there in the mix. But man, out of the 2 to 3 guys I saw, I don't know if I would have picked Eddie Baker. He's coming down into turns 3 and 4, a second and a quarter gap, Jeremy. He is looking for the checkered flag.
Eddie Baker, 2 more corners, and he's going to take the checker flag here at Old Atlanta, and just like that, there we go. 2 winners in 2 races here. Eddie Baker, congratulations on winning the BK Designs 101, as he leads a lot of laps here at the end to close this thing out. Great battling there. I loved how Braxton just ran him so tight, but ran him clean. Made a great showing here tonight with only 13 trucks. I don't think these guys could have done much better.
Yeah, that was an absolutely fantastic race. I shout out Eddie Baker, Braxton, Deweese Wheeler, and Merritt for giving us one of the best shows I think we've probably ever seen together up here, Jeremy. For a race that only had about 5 trucks battling for the win the whole time for 101 laps. I don't know what else to say, man. It just fantastic race between these 5 drivers up at the front.
Burn it down, Eddie Baker. Congratulations. Well-earned victory here this evening, as we're going to go over our unofficial results here for the BK Designs 101 at Atlanta. Eddie Baker, Braxton Deweese, Austin Wheeler. Those 3 are going to be talking to us here after we go down this finishing order. Tyler Merritt ends up in 4th. Joey LeMay rounds out the top 5. And then 6th on down is Bill Hagan, Christopher Cash, Bryson Colwell, Dana Ryan, Stephen Harden is your 10th place finisher. Then you got Mitch Diamond, Charles Whitehead, and Brandon Cooper in a couple of awards. Bill Hagan gets your hard charger plus 5 positions. Most laps led goes to the winner, Eddie Baker, and with the fastest lap. And Tyler Merritt was your pole center here this evening. And now we just got to get our top guys into the channel, if at all possible. We got Braxton ready. We got Austin Wheeler ready. Eddie Baker. Just got to find him. There he is. Top 3 ready to go. And there we go. We're going to talk to our 3rd place finisher, Austin Wheeler, driver the number 48. Austin, congratulations, man. Top 3. What a race at the end there. Guys, just fantastic stuff.
It came together quite well. With like 4 or 5 to go. We all different strategies met up, and yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Austin,
man.
I mean, sorry, Jeremy, did not mean to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
My
No,
apologies.
I took time.
He did take some time. Austin, man, dude, what a race between the top 5 of you guys up at the front of that field there, man. Talk about the tire wear. Being that you're the first guy up in the booth here post race with us, man. What was that tire wear like here on this newer tire model at Atlanta with the newer chassis for the trucks and stuff like that, man? What did it feel like? Because if I remember, this track super bumpy, a lot of grip for the time being back 4 years ago when I raced this track, man. But it just seems like it's a lot looser now.
Yeah, it was good grip in the beginning. I think the track was a lot cooler to start the race, and it got hotter and slicker as it went. It kind of surprised me there a couple times on new tires where it broke loose on me. I was trying to hang on to it, but yeah, that last run I got way loose there at the end. I couldn't do what I was doing in the first couple of runs, but it was a lot of fun. It was fun to drive. I finally enjoyed a race here, so I'll take it.
Yeah, you're one of the looser trucks out there, I think, overall. So nice job gripping the wheel and keeping that thing pointed straight. But P3 tonight, man, awesome job. Celebrate and thank your sponsors before we let you go.
Yeah, thank you guys for broadcasting. Christopher Cash putting on the league and everything. Smoky Mountain Sim Racing. Congrats to Eddie for doing a great job tonight. He had great pace, good long run speed, and he deserved the win. So great race tonight. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Congratulations once more. And we will talk to you maybe next week here as we continue on with the season number 2, the 2026 Truck Series.
Yes, sir.
And that was the 40 of Austin Wheeler. Congratulations on his 3rd place. Braxton Deweese looks like he's ready for P2 interview here. Braxton, man, I thought you were going to get it done, but at the last second, you put on a hell of a battle with Eddie Baker and Austin to keep them at bay, and you almost did it. Just didn't have enough tire there at the end.
Yeah, I felt like I made the right call to pit. It's just you got to make sure you get on pit road, and well, we luckily we didn't speed, but we spun it around a little bit, like half spin, and had to back it up. And I felt like if we didn't do that, we would have had this in the bag. I mean, we were that close with them at the ends, and we had to back up on pit road. So, I felt pretty good all race. This is one of my top five favorite tracks. It's in the top three for me. I'm pretty successful here with a bunch of cars, or at least I have been in the past, and um, I really enjoy this track. There's multiple lanes. You can use that to your advantage if you have a little bit of dirty air to work with. So, um, yeah, it was a great race, other than me looping it on pit road there. But other than that, two second place finishes to start out the year. We have a stage win, so I'm not. I think we get extra points for that. I'm not too sure, but if we do, then it's stuff like that that'll keep us in a fight if we can't get a win. So we're only two races in, so we'll see how we can do at St. P. And I gotta buy the track and do some laps.
And Braxton, I know, man, tough deal for you. Obviously, you were pretty much one of the dominant trucks here tonight, man. What was the moment for you coming down to pit road? Because a lot of guys usually will either feel wheel hop, they'll feel the truck kind of unsettle, kind of bottom out on them and spin. What was the moment for you where you kind of knew that truck was going to loop around entering pit road?
Just realizing that the truck ain't gonna slow down. Once I got down on the flat a little bit, it was not slowing down. I should have realized the amount of grip here is slim to none. So, yeah, that's twice I've done that in here in the past about month or so. So, got to get figured out. It's little stuff like that that'll get you in trouble when you take wins away like that. So, all in all, I'm happy with the run and the pace that we had. We didn't do anything during our runs that was bad or anything. I felt like we had a truck to beat. Honestly, most of the race, I kind of was just cruising there earlier on. I didn't know how the fuel situation was going to go, and then I realized it wasn't going to happen with the one stop. So I started to go again, but that caution came out and kind of put the end of that, and we're able to just go for it from there. But that was fun that we were able to go through the stops. At least I know I'm saying it was fun and I spun around, but it's still fun to at least have green flag pit stops, and we'll just have to uh, improve on what we did and just keep on keeping on as always.
And just to answer the question about stage points, you do get 10 points for winning stage, and it trickles down 1 point all the way to 10th place where they get 1 point. So you get the most points, at least on that part of the race, to kind of maximize your night. So congrats on that. Runner up here this evening. Thank your sponsors before we let you go, sir.
Yeah, big shout out to Wooden Nickel Band on the truck. A big shout out to him. They are a big help. Also, Annette and Eddie Eve for letting us borrow the trailer. Also, Ryan Eve and Brock Eve are a part of Wooden Nickel Band, which they are the sons of Annette and Eddie. So I appreciate all of them for helping us out at BDR with the Roadster and just in general. Um, Truck's been pretty fast in general with when I've run it. So shout out to them, as well as Interstate 4, 3 Dips Ice Cream Shop, Bullwinkle's, Steak Time, Beach Innovations, Superior Sim Racing. You can use the code BDR5 for 5% off over there in the checkout. Elevated TV, Ghost Train, Evan Pieta Designs, Phillips Wraps and Graphics, Our Pizza House, and Winchester, Indiana. Beaver Contracting for sponsoring the Roadsters at Anderson. We're a go this Sunday still for the Thunder Roadsters at Winchester. They'll be racing about 2:30. It'll be live on Racing America as well. So hopefully we can get that going in, and hopefully we can get the Saturday practice in as well, and try to break in some tires. So hopefully we can have ourselves a solid weekend, which it looked like it was going to be a washout, but hopefully it just gets better and better. So hopefully we can get some racing, not only on the sim like we do, but in real life. It's always a lot more fun. So I appreciate y'all, and y'all take care.
You do the same, man, and maybe we'll talk to you here next week.
We'll see. I got a lot of practice to do.
10-4 on that, man. That was Braxton DeWeese there. runner up here this evening, position number 2. And now to bring in our race winners, we're going to load up our Icon Apparel Company Victory Lane. Eddie Baker, man, congratulations. You had the tire with the 48 of Austin wheel. You drove up through the field, and then you got to the 8 truck, and he put a hell of a battle to keep you at second for the most time possible. But at the end of the day, your truck was just too fast.
Hell yeah, I'm all fired up now. This is probably like the best freaking thing that's ever happened to me in the last like 9 months. A whole season of suffering and that dumpster fire next gen just for this. I'll take it.
Heck yeah, man. Well earned victory here this evening. Um, the pit stops. Did you plan to pit late the whole time, or did you just kind of fill out the field as they kind of trickle down pit road?
Honestly, my plan was to run it out of fuel, take 2 tires. The tire wear was amazing. When I pit that last time there, I had 90% on both left sides, and I had like 60s on the right front, and I think it was a 72 in the right rear. So I was planning to just take 2, but then when the 48 pit a little earlier than I anticipated, I had to cover it. So I was talking with Joey, my teammate in the zero truck. We were trying to figure out strategy and whatnot, but we made it on pit road clean. We got off with 4, and obviously it was the right call. Let us go out there and got to hang that thing on the right rear, rip the fence, hang out in the top side, and pick them off.
And Eddie, man, congratulations on that first win of the season. It ain't no damn '09 Silverado, but it'll do. I'm happy for you, dude. Congratulations, obviously. Uh, Talk about that battle with you and Braxton. You caught Braxton, and I know he had his moment coming on the pit road. He was on much older tires than you because he pitted a lot earlier. But going into that battle, heading into 3 and 4, he started packing a lot of air on your right door, pinching you down to that apron. Was there any moment where you thought, man, this truck is just not going to grip and I'm just going to go sailing it up the damn straightaway?
Yeah, I mean, once I got up there with the 38 and the 8, both of them, I mean, they're pretty high up in I rating, so they obviously know what they're doing. But I mean, I can side draft, but holy crap! I mean, they were skimming paint off my doors and quarter panels. I had a couple of fierce battles with the 38 there, and then we touched doors, got a 4x from it, but no wrecks or anything. And then Braxton at the end there, same thing. I knew I kept washing up, losing the nose and washing up the track and getting into them. So I'm like, you know what? I end up lifting and I tried again, set it up to get on the outside, and I just got his tail light and pulled him back. If we kept doing that and I kept messing around on the bottom, Austin was going to steal another win from me, and I wasn't about to let that happen.
Hell nah.
Yeah, after Talladega, I got a salty taste of trusting affiliated drivers.
Yeah, big 10-4 on that, dude. And you went to the top side of the track and you said, "Peace out. This victory is mine." Before Austin had a thought about it, man.
Gave it
Congratulations.
the old high side hustle. That's what we call that.
High
There you
side
go.
hustle. 10-4 on that, man. Well, you did it. You did it in just beautiful fashion. Congratulations. Thank you, sponsors, man.
Yeah, just shout out to Sullivan Tire. Changed up the paint scheme a little bit tonight. Should be showing a black scheme, darker scheme. So shout out to Sullivan Tire. Shout out to my employee of the month, Ellie, for watching this. She's also dating Joey, my teammate. So shout out to both of them. Joey did a kick-ass job, got a top 5. We got fastest lap, most laps led. We led a lap. The only thing I missed was the damn pole. But I mean, we got a road course coming up, and I'm not too bad at those. So let's see if we can go back to back and put this Sullivan Tire truck in victory lane yet again.
Heck yeah, man. Congratulations. Good luck next week. Maybe we'll talk to you here in the podium at a road course.
Hell yeah, I'm going to go drink a Mountain Dew, eat some ice cream, and have fun. We'll see you guys next week.
That is a gamer style meal right there. Absolutely, dude. Well earned.
Man, this guy, dude. This
I'm
guy.
doing ice cream.
Oh man.
What a way to celebrate. I can't top that.
Mountain Dew and ice cream. Now here's a
Yeah.
question though. Do you think that he grabs a Mountain Dew, the cream soda, the Dirty Dew, or does he make a Mountain Dew mixed with like vanilla ice cream?
My stomach's turning off too much cream, so we got to back down the cream a little bit. I think you go full Mountain Dew and then go with the Breyers ice cream. The
Valid.
soft serve. The soft
Valid.
serve. Ready to go.
That
That's my
toilet's
choice.
calling your name.
Dustin agrees in the background, says, "Yep, that's the way to go." So, there we go. That was awesome stuff. 13 trucks and a hell of a race. So can't thank them enough for putting on a great show for us to call and everything. Catch us live 2 nights a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central. Thank you, Jason, for popping in here on these Thursdays, and Dustin for doing all the camera work. And you guys stay safe. Get your nerd on. We'll catch you live this Tuesday. Peace.
Touching and louder to the range. Fuel burns in the glow of the pixel blaze. The rubber is rolling with a fist clenched tight. Your TV lights up the endless night. Fight to fight, we live the speed. Our TV feeds our endless need. Heartbeats pound and engines cry. Best broadcast under the virtual sky. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital